Hey everyone, SoCal Properties Team. This is our first initial podcast. We're going to have a great time with it. Hope you guys enjoy it. We got Gabe right here.
Pleasure to meet you guys.
And we got Adrian over here.
How's it going?
We're going to just throw some random things out there. We might agree, disagree, might be an argument. I don't know. Hopefully no fisticuffs, but let's have a good time. Let's go ahead and start it. Gabe.
Let's talk about how we're seeing a little bit more action in the market right now, even though we're usually supposed to be in a slump. You know, the seasonal trends usually go down at the end of the years. It usually starts to pick up around springtime. But with the drop in interest rates, we're starting to see a little bit more action in the market.
My opinion, this is the way I normally work. You know, I've been in the business 20 years on the listing side. And I do have a few listings that need to go on the market. The fourth quarter is slow and December has a tendency to be slow because house buying is not paramount, you know,
right.
Family time, buying presents,
right.
Vacationing, this and this and this. So I have listings that need to go on the market, but I'm waiting until next month in January. And with the trending where the rate's going, hopefully that continues to go down. So I'm actually positioning my clients into listing their properties in January.
Right. Yeah, no, definitely agree on, you know, the best time is probably starting at the beginning of the year. I think I read an article a while ago about May being the best month to put your property on the market because, you know, it takes a few days to, or at least it's like sign a listing agreement. It takes a few days to get pictures, put it on the market coming soon, build up anticipation. By the time, you know, you're a couple weeks in, it's starting to hit summertime when kids are off school. That's another problem around this time, right? Kids in the middle of the semester, it's hard to kind of find a new school for them if you did move. It's just a bunch of hassle with vacations, with family time. And I always seem to put an escrow in at the end of the year. It's always the worst time of the year because of all the holidays. But I seem to always do that every single year. So it's always tough on the escrows because we have so many 3-day holidays and it jumbles up the escrow on timelines, right? A deadline always ends up becoming on one of these holidays and it's always like, are we supposed to remove? Do we have an extra day to kind of to delegate some things? You know, that's always an argument to have with the listing agent. That always seems to pop up. But yeah, definitely seeing some like the open house this past weekend was more traffic than I've seen in a while in the past. Are a few open houses, and the few I've actually toured with other clients.
Yeah, you know, it's one of those things. You know, you guys represent majority buyers. Your buyers want to get, you know, the best deal they can.
Right.
My clients want to maximize their dollar and they're in no rush to sell, so they want to maximize their dollar. It just makes sense from an investor standpoint, right, that they do wait until like January when, you know, it's a better situation for them to maximize their dollar.
So going back to your previous statement, Gabe, about inventory actually being higher than previous years, I see here a 1% increase from 2023 and a substantial 48% increase from November 2021. I believe this could be from 8% interest rates. We see properties coming on some market, usually sitting longer than usual. So how could this be a win for buyers that can afford to purchase now compared to holding off and waiting till interest rates drop?
Well, I mean, everyone that was involved in transaction when, you know, the mysterious vid popped around, how crazy that was, where you were seeing lines outside the doors around the blocks of properties. Like, that was insanity. It was complete insanity where you would show up to an open house and you wouldn't know if you'd be able to get into the open house because there'd be too many people lined up in a 4-hour period that we weren't able to squeeze, you know, they weren't able to squeeze anyone in there. And then to counter that, you know, submitting offers on properties where there's potentially 60 offers on properties. Ran into that. Like, you do not want to compete in a market like that when interest rates start to drop. And interest rates have already slowly started to drop.
What's the rate right now?
We're quoted at 6% FHA, obviously perfect credit for, you know, our Lomita listing. Right?
Yeah. We're in December right now.
Yeah, FHA loan 6%. How long has it been since we're at 6%? Right? And we're already seeing buyers submit more offers on properties because of the past few weeks in interest rate drops, which tells me that there are buyers on the sidelines waiting to get in until it makes sense for them And the buyers that have their documentation submitted with the lender, where they don't have to jump through the hoops of submitting documents and finding, quote, shopping, finding the right agent. The ones that are set up right now with their agent, with their lender, are the ones that are going to win when interest rates do continue to drop like they are, hopefully, well into springtime. Because the Fed just announced they're going to drop the rate 6 more times, throughout the next year.
Right.
So, I mean, we already kind of know why the reason behind that is. It just so happens to be that it's an election year, but that's another topic.
Right. Changing gears here. Now I'm going to ask you guys this question, then I'll pose it. So, Adrian, why did you choose to go in real estate? Now, explain yourself. You still in college?
Yeah, still in school.
You're 15, right? You're 15?
21. I just turned 21 a couple months ago.
He's 21. Yeah. Okay, that explains the alcohol. Okay.
So he's legal, ladies. He's legal.
Okay, yeah.
And gentlemen.
Yeah. Yeah! That was funny. That was good.
So going back to Mark's question as to why I got into real estate. Being in college, I've always saw myself as a go-getter, playing college football, doing those things. And I saw myself, I connected with Mark and I saw an opportunity that I just couldn't pass up. I've always wanted to get into real estate, whether it was flipping, developing, doing things like that. And I thought the easiest way to do so would be to join a great team with Mark, Gabe, and just grow from there. Obviously starting a business is hard. It's not the easiest time to be in real estate right now as well. So just growing and learning the skills that Mark is passing down to us, I feel like that was my biggest objective, my biggest goal to accomplish, just to learn and strive to be the best.
And not just like business-wise, right? Like developing into a better person overall, and you're learning skills.
Yep. That'll set myself for the future.
Like all the sales books that we read, the role playing, we use those techniques and those soft skills in everyday life with all our relationships, right? The cold calls, the sales training, mirroring, right? Those sort of things. Lowering your tone when you're talking to someone, which is really hard, a lot harder with family, I noticed. But I'm still trying to learn that with family. I can do that on the phone with clients really easy, but I notice when I'm like with arguments with my family members or something like that, I have to catch myself. Like,
you want to win.
Like,
your
exactly.
audience.
Right. And I'm not concerned about losing because I know they're always going to be there, right? But that's not the right mindset to have, because I want to be able to have better relationships with my family members. And that's not something I originally, when I came to the team, thought that I would learn. But I'm taking away from your shine. Keep on going.
No, I think you touched on it perfectly. I obviously didn't think I would learn these skills coming onto the team, like Gabe said. But once I really got in tune with Gabe and Mark, we started running with it. So I never looked back.
And how I met Adrian actually was through this. Actually, behind the camera also with Lucky. That's how I know him. Also, is through. How would you call it, Lucky? It was. Well, how would you call it? We all met. I met your father. So I knew when I met your father, I knew that I can talk to you like a man and be very direct and be me. Because I know, speaking to your dad, I read people, I know that's how he is. So I was like, okay, it would be fine. I don't have to sugarcoat nothing. This is how it is. So I already knew you were going to be a fit and I could, talk to you in that way. And I met Lucky over here, same group. It's like a brotherhood that we have. So I know we just kind of know each other. So it just like everything just kind of fits into place. You know what to expect from one another. So it goes a long way, and that's how I met your dad. Long story short. So I knew that you would be, you would be fine. You wouldn't be a softie, right?
Yeah, I guess that's what you want to say.
No, a snowflake.
There you go.
Snowflake. Yeah. Gabe, same question to you.
So what I've been here. When did I come here? I know it was the New Year's, January 11th. It was right before your birthday.
Yeah, it was right before the birthday. It was in January.
3 years ago now?
Yeah, it was probably about 3.5 years. And you're going to finish this, but you can go into where you were, the decision you had to make, and how you transferred over here and so forth.
Right. Okay, so I was up in Reno. I've just finished, finished schooling at University of Nevada, Reno. I was a collegiate boxer there for a short time. After I graduated, I stayed in Reno. I was working at the UFC gym up in there. Love my UFC gym family up there. Shout out to you guys. Still think about you guys every single day. And that was an important part of my life, doing something I really was passionate about, training people, teaching people a martial art, helping develop people to better human beings through fitness, and getting healthy and getting disciplined with that part of life. I was pretty disciplined with my fitness, not a whole lot of other things now that I look back, that I'm learning now that I was really lacking a lot. I really thought I knew my shit then. And then Mark has known my father for how long?
We're probably pushing,
Over 10 years, right?
no, we're talking probably 18.
Okay.
Yeah, probably 18 years. Yeah, 18 years. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And then we met even before, we first talked 5 years ago. My grandma took me to lunch with you.
Yeah, your grandma took me, and by the way, your dad and your grandparents are my clients.
Yes.
They still are my clients.
Right.
Yeah.
So, we had lunch, and then a few years later, he reached out and asked if I wanted, to try real estate. He was in the fitness industry for a long time, and he realized that, to make the next step, he had to do something else. I believe you said you want to do finance or real estate, and you had a friend of yours that was making deals happen in real estate. You're like, that's what I want to do. Mm-hmm. I never originally thought I wanted to get into real estate, but I was kind of at a point in my life where I was aimless, not that I couldn't be a better trainer, but it wasn't something that...
Did you feel there was a ceiling on that? Did you feel that you can reach your full potential doing that, or was it just not your calling?
I really love coaching. I could coach people all day in fitness. I have fun with it. I believe I'm a great freaking coach in that. But because I was a great coach, it didn't push me to get better, if that makes sense, right? And I remember speaking with my roommate after you gave me the opportunity. Hey, you know what? I told you I'd call you in a week and give me a week to make a decision. I remember speaking to my roommate, having the same conversation every day, and he was just telling me, dude, it sounds like the decision's made. You got to go. And so I told myself, or asked myself, would I regret not trying it out? And I said, yeah. I could always come back to it. So that was really what made up my decision. I was like, hey, well, you know what? I'm young. Let's just go try it out. I know I'll regret more if I don't try it than if I do try it and it doesn't work out. So that was my thought process. And then a lot of struggles in the beginning, learning how to build a schedule, time blocking, learning how to be an adult, right? Because getting out of college, being a trainer, being a good trainer and showing up whenever you want, creating your own schedule, I didn't really have any discipline with my schedule. I had a few program classes, but I could schedule my clients whenever I wanted to. So I had, free will basically. But then doing real estate, you realize, and if you want to get into real estate, this is a message to you. You do not have control of your schedule. I hear that all the time with people, I want to have control of my schedule, freedom this, freedom that. You do not have control of your schedule. You are beholden to your clients and to your team meetings and your office meetings, right? Everything works around that. You think you want to go to the gym at 6 p.m. and you have a client that wants a showing? Well, your client's going to take priority, and they're always going to take priority, right? You have a meeting with the lender with a client at 6 p.m. Yeah, sorry, you can't go to the gym at that time. So slowly learning that and prioritizing my life and learning how to schedule my life so I can do the things I want to without it getting in the way of the things I have to do for work was a big learning lesson. And then, like I touched on earlier, learning the soft skills in this industry which I feel like is very lacking for a lot of agents. Not learning the sales techniques, the communication skills.
Just go in one speed.
Right. Because we're like in such a middle ground of sales. We're not selling such a small product that we could sell every single day to random people that we don't have to worry about relationships, right? This is such a relationship-driven business. Not saying that other sales isn't like that, but this is the largest decision people are going to make in their life most of the time. So people take that seriously. So it takes us so much longer to convert people, to lead people down the path of should you buy or should you sell. And so there's no quick sales techniques that are going to really get you to have someone sell or purchase a home within a couple hours. That happens with other industries, not this industry. So I think a lot of agents, they don't believe that sales techniques work, but it helps you build a stronger relationship with your clients as you're walking them through the process of helping them decide of buying or selling, or not buying or selling. And I think that that's where a lot of agents can improve. Especially, I feel like the newer generation. I talk to older agents like yourself.
Older agents?
Oh, I'm sorry, Bigmore.
Yeah.
You look great for your age.
You're gonna get them offended, right?
Yeah. For agents that have been in the business for 20 years, I feel like a lot of them, they learned those sales techniques because there was no Instagram, right? There was no Facebook. You had to cold call. You had to door knock. And so a lot of those skills I feel like are lacking because a lot of people are building a brand or personality, and that's how they're attracting clients. But a lot of them aren't retaining clients that way, or navigating the negotiating process of an escrow very well because of that. So I see a lot of big holes in the industry as a whole. That's something that I've appreciated with this, is learning how to be a better individual, helping people make the largest financial decision of their life, and trying to be ethically sound in that, and always looking out for people's best interests and asking good questions to really figure out if it's a good idea for them. And that's what I enjoy now, right? I'm not like a big home freak. I like seeing nice homes. That's something that's really cool, like a great remodel job that's not cheap, but you see like some actual personality home. I do love seeing those homes. Absolutely. That's awesome. But what I really, get the squeeze out of this is learning, kind of like human psychology, how to communicate with people, the building the business part. And then one thing I always wanted as a kid was to own multiple properties. That I always did. I don't know. You could ask my mom that. I wanted to own a place up in New York. I wanted to own a place in Florida. I wanted to own multiple places in California, like Tahoe and Los Angeles and Venice. I've always wanted to own multiple homes. So that's one of the reasons why I was like, okay, I'll give real estate a shot. It could help me learn about homes and the process of buying a home. But I got hooked for other reasons that I didn't think that I would get hooked on. So that's my long answer to that question.
All right. Well, my story was, he kind of answered it. I was at home. I was a personal trainer, and a friend of mine, Michael Johnson, which I still talk to him now, is a very good friend. He's a general contractor now.
Very cool guy.
Very cool guy. Very laid back. Opposite of me. And he came by my house. Okay, he just came by my house. We were just gonna chit chat real quick because he was in the area. So he comes by, and I'm just like chilling. I think I'm eating lunch, waiting for my next client. And this guy's on the phone, wheeling and dealing. Just like, oh yeah, click, next escrow, and I'm like, that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do. That's what I am. That's what I need to do. And then the rest is history. That's all it took. We were the same age. And I'll say this now, I was very envious because I wasn't wheeling and dealing. I wasn't putting deals together. I wasn't making money moves. I was just there. And I saw that and I was envious of it. But I turned that envy into action, which pushed me to be like, we're the same age, but we're in completely different spaces.
Right.
And then I was just like, that's what I got to do. Rest is history. And getting to real estate, and they already know this, is when everyone's taking, in the classroom, we all went through the classroom, right? Did you guys go to classroom? Because I know it's different. A lot of the
College?
No, classroom for real estate.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I didn't go.
I did online.
I did online.
Oh, you did yours online? Okay, back in the day, that didn't happen like that.
Yeah.
Okay? So, in the classroom. So, you got a classroom. Say you have 50 people, 100 people. Let's meet at 100 people. Everyone's licensed. You know, you have people in there. It's like a normal classroom setting with the teacher and everything. So, you have people, you know, you have that student that knows all the answers. And in my head, I'm like, well, he knows all the answers. He's probably going to be doing really good in real estate. Oh, he knows all the answers. He knows the answers even before the teacher finishes. Wow, he's going to be so successful. Damn. And I didn't know the answers of anything.
Yeah.
C student at best. Marky, don't follow Dad. You get A's. I got C's. Sometimes D's, barely graduated high school. And so out of that, say that 100 people, out of that 100 people, 20% of that 100 people are going to actually make it a career. So 20 out of that.
Not high level, you're just saying.
Yeah, just 20% of that 100. So what is that? 20 people, right?
20.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get it now. Out of that 20%, 5% are going to make over 90% of all the money.
Right. You're talking about the grand spectrum.
The grand space. So you got that 20%, take that 5% from that 20%, they're going to make 90% of that money.
Yeah.
Real estate's not easy. There's so many people that come and go, and people think, oh, I want to work my own schedule. I was here the day after Thanksgiving in the office because I love what I do. So if you're going to choose real estate, because of the schedule, you can make your own schedule. You ain't gonna be successful.
No.
Pump your brakes. Go do something else. So, just want to explain that. But Michael Johnson, shout out to you. You're the one that actually pushed me because I was jealous as hell because you were wheeling and dealing, and I was just sitting on my hands I think I was doing nothing. So, mass props. I never told you this either, but I know you watch me on social media, so you'll see that. All right.
What was the, when you first got in the industry, let's take this to the first few buyers you worked with versus buyers now.
Okay.
Where do you see the difference in buyers? What has changed? Because I'm sure, you know, people back then, you know, you had an average American working, you know, a normal quote unquote job.
Right.
Able to buy a property here in Southern California. And you're not seeing that now, right? Mm-hmm. You're seeing high level earners, people that have to make a combined income of like $200,000 to be able to purchase a regular home here in California or here in Southern California. And if they can't, they have to get, you know, other family members to be on the loan with them, co-signers, all that jazz, or multiple generations purchasing a home together, which is, we're seeing that as well.
Well, yeah, the price levels obviously are completely different, but also income is different too. We still had a lot of co-signers back then, even for a purchase of $200,000, $250,000. Okay, so that was still the same picture. I know, you know, everything. We're talking bigger numbers now than back then, but the still like qualifications. We still FHA when I started was the main thing. Was the status quo, and it was at 3%, by the way. Now it's 3.5%. So it was 3% when it started, but
down payment, you're saying?
Down payment was 3%. And majority of all my sales were FHA. They were all first-time home buyers. And my first sale actually was a HUD home, and it was a website called Golden Feather. And you make it an offer, and you know it was like it was random.
Housing urban development.
It was HUD. Yeah, it was HUD. Urban Housing Development, and they used this real estate company, which was horrible. It's called Golden Feather, which was online. So you make a bid on it. Okay, you make a bid on it. That was my first sell, and she got this property way under market. Big up for her. She came up, totally forgot her name. It was many moons ago, maybe 5 years ago. No, just kidding. It was many moons ago, but the bottom line is she came up. That really felt good. Getting that feeling of that first-time home buyer that's so appreciative. That's priceless to me in real estate. And I don't have that now because I represent investors, so it's a little different. It's black and white, but that's what I prefer.
Yeah.
But that feeling of that first-time home buyer and the appreciation they show, that moves mountains for me.
Right.
That really moves because they're so appreciative, and it's not all about the bottom line. They're just like, oh my God, I didn't think I was going to be able to buy this house. And they did.
Yeah.
And you made it happen. You made their dreams come true. That's the best feeling in real estate right there. Boom.
Yeah, I agree.
Boom goes the dynamite.
No, I 100% agree. Going back to those first-time home buyers, I know that something has been popping up with the changing of the buying patterns of people buying homes right now. One of the biggest things is something we talk about on our wealth building seminars in the past was house hacking, right? You know, being able to just get your foot in the door, trying to find, like, for example, finding a home here in Southern California with an ADU already built so that you can buy the home, you live in the ADU, and then you rent out the home, right? That's something that is blown up within the past few years. That's why they changed the laws. The one good thing Gavin Newsom did was introduce that with the SB 9, something like that bill, where it made it easier to do the ADUs and then split lots and whatnot. That's something that I've seen huge on, where I'll use an example of the guy I just put in escrow, Angel. We're there at the home inspection, and at first he wasn't talking like this. You know, first he want 3-bed, 2-bath, big yard, won't negotiate, you know, below that. And I had to talk to him again, these soft skills that I've learned, trying to get him to see, like, hey, you know, we're competing with families with 2 people in the household that are earning income. It's just you buying a home. Are you okay with, you know, you're single, are you okay with just 2-bedroom, you know, a little bit smaller of a home, and then you could add on to the home. And most of the time it's not going to be, you know, I could bet 5-7 years going to be moving out of the home, right? Either renting it out or selling it. That's the average time, 5 to 7 years, right? And we're out there at the home inspection, and he's already saying, oh, we can, you know, extend, you know, the house to this right here to add an extra bedroom. Oh man, this garage is big enough to convert to an ADU. And I'm like, that's when I was like, yeah, that's it right there. See that they're already thinking about like an investor. And that's the buyers that win today, I believe, is the buyers that are trying to purchase properties as investments and not thinking about it in such an emotional standpoint, and getting beyond the emotions and thinking about how can I use this property and leverage this property to purchase the next property, and start building some sort of portfolio of financial wealth, freedom to live the life that they actually want to live. Because it's very hard right now. You know, like I said, you have to earn an average like $200,000 to afford the average home here in LA. That's rough numbers, don't quote me on that, but that's what it looks like almost on paper. That's what I notice the buyers that are winning right now and setting themselves up for success is trying to think about properties as investments instead of just, I want to grow old here, I want to build a family here, like how it was maybe 20, 30 years ago, if I'm not
Right,
mistaken.
and I'm going to say something that you just mentioned with your client is you got to identify as a salesperson to make this deal stick, meaning that pivotal point, like the potential of an ADU, you have to paint that picture for them, and you gotta really navigate and find that.
Yeah.
Because during a transaction, it's like this.
Yep.
It's like, and I say every escrow has its own story.
Yep.
And it's not done until that book closes. So it's a story, and it's a story of ups and downs.
The book only closes when you get that check and the deposit in your bank account.
Yeah, that's the only time the book closes. But the book of, I call escrow, every escrow is its own story. And the story has ups, downs, emotional, all the above.
Right.
All the above. Adrian.
Well, I was just going to touch on what Gabe said real quick. I think a certain percentage of people that are first-time home buyers aren't going to stay in that exact house for their entire life.
No.
I think there's
The average is 7 years.
Yeah, I don't know off the top of my head, but they're going to stay there for 5 to 7 years. And once they start having younger buyers, once they start having kids, they get pets,
Right.
they're going to start expanding. So don't think of that first purchase as your forever home. It's most likely not going to be.
Yeah, once that honeymoon phase, you know, washes off after maybe 6 months to a year of a home, you're going to find some things that you do not like about the home. You're like, this was okay. I was comfortable with this and I purchased the property. I'm going to try to use an example. Okay, living semi-close to like the freeway, whether you could hear the noise traffic or you're next to the busy street. You're like, you know what? It's not that bad. We're a little bit separated. When we have the windows closed, and the doors closed, we don't really hear the freeway. But after 6 months to a year living in that property, maybe you're outside more often, having barbecues with your friends, whatever it is, enjoying a glass of wine after a hard day of work. You're realizing, man, that it would be nice to just be a little bit more peaceful instead of some noise, honking, and all that stuff. So you're going to find things in your home regardless. It's not going to be perfect. We're never 100% satisfied with anything in life. Anything in life, no matter how hard we work at it, we always wish that something could be better. And I think that's where buyers can help themselves, is writing down a list of some things on what they want in a home and things that they don't want. Write it all out on a piece of paper. Hopefully on one side of the paper, what you do want, what you don't want. And then start to organize these things of what's the most important to the least important, right? And then we're going to start chopping the list off, right? You realize you get to the bottom list, well, I could put up with that, because you're not going to find a home that meets all this criteria. If you do, it's probably worth more, or more than you can afford. So a lot of us can't, build your own house and our own, the place that we want. So we have to settle for what the market is giving us, or in our market. So then we're going to start chopping off things, that off that list where we're comfortable with. And if you could narrow it down to 10 things you absolutely need and 10 things you absolutely can't have in the home, I think that's where a lot of buyers can start discerning the properties that they go see on the market, so that they could be more decisive on submitting offers, because that's a buyer that's going to win as well. Someone that's decisive, that says, okay, let's write an offer at this price. I saw the other ones. They're cool, but this is the one I want to go strong in. Because if you're not going strong on these offers, you're kind of 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You're not going to get your offer accepted, and then you might be like, man, I wish I actually went a little bit harder in the paint with that one. Because I've had buyers like that too. Oh, man, we should have went a little bit harder in the paint. I'm like, yeah, but I can't force you to do anything. So
right. Changing gears here. What's your favorite? Oh, actually, I have this question for you. You're 21. I started real estate when I was 26. When I started real estate, in my 20s, 30s, or whatever, my peers, same age, they thought, oh, you're in real estate? Oh, you're licensed? Oh, you're rich. You have a lot of money. And I want to know, which is not true, by the way. I want to know.
He drives a Prius, everyone.
I drive a Prius.
A super Prius.
I went from
the sports car,
a Tesla, to a Prius. Which I love my Prius.
The Prius has a spoiler on it.
Love my Prius. Now, back to you. Do your age group, your peers, do they think you're in real estate, you make a lot of money?
I would say people that don't know me and see my Instagram, see all these videos coming out. We do property tours more than 3 times a week. I would say people that don't know me would assume so. But if you know me, know the real estate market, know the circumstances I'm in, still going to school, trying to dedicate as much time as possible to this, I don't think they would assume so.
So, but you don't have people necessarily, because I would have people, oh, you're in real estate, oh, you make a lot of money.
I think that's what he tells his girlfriend, though.
Is that what he tells you? So, but do you get that? Like, oh, you're in real estate, you probably make, you don't get that?
No, I've never had anybody come up to me, say something like that.
Or like your peers, or in school, or whatever the case might be.
I think people ask me, oh, what do you do? I say I'm in real estate. People see me, not so much, I think they see me on a sort of a pedestal, like I'm on a higher level than them, because most people in college, they work restaurants, fast food chains, things like that.
There you go.
I wouldn't say they would see me on a financial standpoint as higher or better than them.
More like you have your career, what you want to do. Okay,
got figured out already, which I don't necessarily have that figured out. But
you're starting at the perfect time.
Yeah.
By the time that you're done with school and you're actually able to do this full time, you're get slingshotted versus people that are, just starting full time.
Right.
100%. You're going to blow right past them.
Next question I have for you. Next question.
Drilling me over here like I'm on a lie detector.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Is real estate easier or harder than you thought before you walked in and had your first day? Is it easier or harder than you thought?
Good question.
Before I started, my first day, I thought it was gonna be easy. I thought it was gonna be wheeling and dealing. I walk into Mark's office, see all those listings on the board. I see Gabe on the phone. I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be a breeze. I come in here, start to put the work in. I realized this isn't as easy as I thought.
He put an escrow in deal pretty quickly, though.
Too quick.
Yeah,
Like,
too
go ahead.
quick.
Too
And
quick.
then he was getting all hot and bothered, talking a little smack in our team meetings, right? Remember that? And I said,
Yeah.
I told him. I remember.
Well,
saying
actually, he
it-
came into our team meeting with the freaking cigar. That was
Yeah.
where'd that come
It's
from?
because Gabe had a 6-month escrow, so I think it was.
He
How
came
about
into the
escrow?
meeting with a robe and a cigar.
A Versace
and
robe.
a Versace robe with some cognac, with his feet on the table.
Gabe had a 6-month escrow. I opened escrow while he was in.
And it was like a 2-week escrow.
Yeah,
Huh?
3 months. I opened escrow.
It's like a 2-week escrow.
He
It was
still had
cash
3 months
deal.
left on his escrow. I had a 2-week escrow as a cash deal. That fell out of escrow.
And everyone else on the team was like, "Congratulations!" He's talking to him like, "Hey, anything can happen. All right, don't get too ahead of yourself.
Right.
Anything can happen. It's happened to me. I was in your shoes, right?" And
Counting
then,
my chips with the team.
yeah,
Yeah,
then-
when you came into the team meeting like that.
And then what happened?
Yeah.
What happened?
Fell out of escrow. Can I tell the story?
Tell a story.
So we were in escrow for, I think it was $515,000.
A lesson for newly investors too on how not to operate when you are in a deal. How to ruin a deal for yourself if you operate like
The
these buyers
perfect deal. You get 3 doors. List price was
Explain what doors are. Because a lot of
doors
people don't know
are
doors.
units. So basically, it was a triplex. You have 3 doors. $499 list price, perfectly priced. I come in, got this investor. We write up an offer at $499. Mark comes back to me. That's not going to be good enough. So I negotiated them up to $515,000. Got our offer accepted. And once we opened up escrow, now I'm talking like the same day we opened up escrow, they go to that building that has 2 tenants in place. So 2 units are occupied. One of the tenants was, okay, I'm going to get out as soon as we close. Back tenant was not going anywhere. People living in the garage, people living in the back unit. She had no plans of going anywhere. So my buyers went in there and tried to negotiate with her before we were closing. And Mark told me that the day we opened up escrow, don't let your buyers talk to the tenants. Every time he's had a buyer talk to the tenants before, the deal goes south. And behind my back, my clients tried to negotiate with the tenant. And little known to us, the tenant goes and hires. She hired an attorney.
Yeah, she hired some kind of legal consulting.
Yeah, so
free
they-
legal consulting.
So they told her, don't leave the premises without money. So negotiation started. I think they were at, what were they at? Like, it was a substantial
25,000, whatever it is. Yeah.
25,000. So they were ready to go. She got out. She was moving her stuff out. She goes to a new place. It doesn't last a day. So she comes back, stays in there, and is asking for more money. Now we got up to, was it like 40?
By the way, real quick, this buyer's negotiating with the tenant, no approval from the seller nor me, mainly, and doing all this behind everyone's
Yeah,
back,
doing this all behind
and
everyone's
just
back.
creating a complete shit show.
And the only reason I found out was because we went for an inspection, and the front tenant said, "Oh, that's Jared. I spoke to him before." And I walk up to him and I say, "You're not supposed to be talking to the tenants. How does she know who you are?" And he's like, "Oh, we just came by to look at the garage, do measurements." And I was like, "Okay." So I come talk to Mark, and then he figures everything out. This is the good thing about being on a team. You guys work together. So Mark figures all this out. She did hire the attorney, whoever it was. Now she's asking for 50 grand cash to get the keys, and she'll get out of there.
50 or 15?
50.
No, it was 50.
50. 50 grand.
50.
Wow.
50.
Half $100,000.
Yep. 50.
Wow.
So
50.
my buyers would not release the EMD, which is the earnest money deposit that you put down when buying a property, and we canceled escrow.
So this is a good thing for you investors. I know the name of that person. I know who's involved. I know their phone number. I will not do business with them in the future. All I represent mainly is all investors, and that's what I do. And I remember agents, buyers, and everyone that I feel
Or doing you wrong.
I wouldn't say doing me
They'll
wrong.
make your job harder.
That make the situation worse than it is, and I won't do business with you. Period. I will not do business with you, and I will let my clients know. I'll present your offer, and I will tell you, I will blow holes in it because I will tell the history I had with you to my seller and have them make the decision. So, as an agent and as a buyer, your reputation precedes you. Don't forget that.
Yeah, absolutely agree.
Yeah.
I remember you telling me that when I first came on multiple times. Your reputation precedes you. That's why you have to talk to the other agent. You have to over communicate. Build a relationship with these agents because they're the ones that can be accepting your offers,
Right.
or blowing holes in your offers when you go and submit offers for your clients,
Yes.
right? And that's again, okay. So taking a step back to what I said before, a lot of the skills that are lacking, and I feel like today's agents is these communication skills, not wanting to get on the phone. Everyone wants a text message, right? They don't want to get on the phone. Everyone's scared to get on the phone for some reason. And when you do that, you're putting your clients at a disservice, right? You're not servicing your clients to the best of their ability, the best of your abilities, and you're leaving money on the table for them if you're selling, or you're having them pay extra money because of that. So take these skills seriously. If you're an agent or you want to get into being an agent, you have to take these soft skills seriously and read the books. Take courses on negotiation. Screw the Tom Ferry stuff, the motivation, rah-rah stuff. That's not going to get you from point A to point B. That's going to give you the motivation to maybe start doing the work. But just because you're doing the work doesn't mean you're doing it correctly, right? Learn how to do the work correctly. Join a team. Find someone that is doing the business that you want to be doing, with the way that you want to be operating, and learn from them, and then start educating yourself. There's a bunch of resources. I don't know how many YouTube guides I've shared with you when you first joined about specific cold calls. They're recording themselves cold calling, their script practice and all that stuff. And that's something I use, like I said, every day in business and in my personal life as well. So, your reputation precedes you.
Right,
Sure.
and I'll chime in on that. The one thing I can see from my generation of starting real estate, and I'm not going to be that dude, be like, my generation was like, we weren't soft, we were hard, what is that? We walked in like 2 feet of snow to go to school or whatever it is. No, I ain't going to say
Don't
that.
snow here.
You carry
So whatever, ain't no snow here,
Carry
whatever.
boats.
Whatever. I will say, because I deal with buyer's agents on this listing side, the one thing that agents like, this goes out to you potential sellers and buyers. I believe the negotiating skills of agent has definitely decreased. I find when I started, it was all about that hard negotiation. It was getting that best deal for your client and fighting for your client. Okay. And I feel it's changed in the sense of, as you said, wait a second, you're negotiating with me by text message? Whoa. You're on email? No, let's do this. We need to talk. You need to go the extra effort. And I see that negotiating has gotten watered down.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel then from when I started to now, because I was taught by some very savvy, negotiators, and I feel in today's agents, I think it's gotten watered down.
I feel like people could get away with that during, say, the COVID market.
Yeah, absolutely.
Low interest rates, people coming in. There's hundreds of buyers, people like Gabe said earlier, people lining up to go into open houses. There's a buyer everywhere. There's a seller everywhere. But now interest rates have shot up. people don't have these skills to get a competitive offer accepted, negotiate, request for repairs, credits, things like that. So it all comes back to me joining the team at a good time, learning those skills, be able to negotiate for my clients.
Right, and just in truly fighting for your client. Because I'm gonna tell you this: you could write me up an offer, and this is how I work: is I have a listing. You guys could write me up an offer. You know how I am. I don't care about your buyer. I care about my seller,
right.
And I'm gonna do whatever I can to maximize their profit.
Squeeze the juice out of it.
I'm going to squeeze the juice regardless of the situation. That's why I don't double end properties. That's the main reason why I don't, is because I do that. I focus on my client, which is the seller, and I'm going to maximize their dollar amount by whatever means I got to do it. And that's one thing that they know. If they write an offer, I'm going to tell them, you do whatever you need to do for your client. I'm going to do what I need to do for my client.
Right.
There's no buddy system. Yeah, we're on the same team, but take care of your clients. I'm going to take care of myself.
Right.
And I just feel like negotiations just gotten watered down, just in my opinion, from what I see. And I would also, Gabe, this will go to you because you write more offers. I don't write any offers. When you write an offer for your client, do you pitch the other side, pitch the agent? Do you sell the agent on your buyer? Do you sell the agent on you? Mainly you. Because from my history is usually when I get a sense of the agent and they're dialed in, they're like just all the box checks, that's a smooth escrow. I'm not going to have any issues. Do you pitch yourself and your client to that?
Let me parallel this to the negotiating part we're talking about, how it's getting watered down. Whenever we're in the negotiating process, I mean, it's kind of hard to negotiate before you open up escrow, being a buyer.
Totally.
Right? Because we don't really have as much leverage as
it
we may
starts
have
when you open escrow.
Yeah. We don't have as much leverage as we may have, in other states where,
Correct.
the buyers,
Correct.
But anyways, everything I do on the phone, that's where I'm negotiating and trying to set standards for what to expect, what the other agent can expect from me with our offer, with the terms, conditions, what I'm going to ask for, request for repairs, all that jazz. Everything happens on the phone. And the email is just confirmation of what we talked about. The text message is confirmation of I sent the email, right? So that's how I kind of cross the T's, dot the I's. Hey, I got a highly qualified buyer, been looking in the area. With this last buyer, Angel, I told the agent, hey, dude, we submitted multiple offers and we've barely been getting outbid. He's highly qualified. He can go conventional. We have to go FHA.
And this is you pitching it to the listing agent, correct? Okay,
right.
Good.
And I even told him before we opened, okay, if it wasn't for the FHA rule, my lender says we could close in 14 days. 14 days. But we can't because of the FHA rule, right? He came back to us. That's a whole other story. But, just trying to set the standard with the agent, what he can expect from me. And I think, I can't say for sure because I haven't asked him, but he had a cash offer when we submitted our offer. Cash is king. The cash would have given him a quicker close. It obviously was a little bit lower than our offer, but I believe I gave him the confidence in closing the deal and my skills as an agent, representing my client the best way possible. Again, having the hard conversations with the other agent gave us the upper leg in opening up escrow. And we just removed appraisal contingency. We just moved inspection contingency. We still have our loan. Until we're not going to remove that until we're up to the 90 days. He said, cool, not a problem. We basically just have to reach the end of the month and we're good. And then, we're closing escrow on January 15th, 10th or 15th, right?
And I'm going to say something this, you're missing out a key element of this. He originally made an offer on this property, okay? We don't got to go in specifics. You made an offer. They did not accept your offer originally. You missed that. They didn't accept your offer originally, but you stayed in contact.
Correct.
You sold yourself to the other agent because he went to you when he was in escrow, when he was about to cancel.
Right.
Before he got the cancellation.
I gave him a call because they were only in escrow for, I believe, like 2.5 weeks.
Okay.
And then, the wife goes on maternity leave and so their finances are all out of whack. And we were actually the highest offer when we originally submitted to. We were 10 grand. He told me exactly where they were at, which never happens in a transaction. If the other agent tells you where they're at with offers, that is like the godsend in transactions.
By the way,
I know where
by the way, I don't do that. I do not do that. I don't do that. But go ahead.
Ice and best. My terms. My choice of escrow. Yeah. So he reached out back to me, sent me an email. Immediately, I take a screenshot. I send it over to my client. I immediately call the agent. Hey, what happened? Da 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 da. And he said, "Oh, looks like," he gave me that story of maternity leave, whatever. Looks like we should be canceling escrow. Wasn't 100%. He was just sending out the feelers. And I said, "Okay, cool. I'll ask my client." Asked the client. He's like, "Yeah, we're ready to rock and roll. Let's go for it." Right. So this was a Hail Mary shot for us because I know my buyer was getting a little bit frustrated in the market. So I called him the next day, the agent. He said, "Yeah, I still haven't received cancellation, but it looks like it. I am talking to a cash offer. They're a little bit below yours, but we've spoken more. You and I have spoken more than I have with this guy. So I want to accept yours. But let's see where this cancellation goes." Call him the next day, no cancellation, and it was over the weekend. It was like 4 or 5 days where he told me that they're going to get cancellation, and they didn't end up getting it. And finally on a Sunday, he told me that, okay, I finally had cancellation. So all right, boom. He sent me a counter to our RPA, and I had sent to him that day. So the sense of urgency, hey, I'll have this signed today. It'll be in your email, whatever. Boom. Sent the email, sent him a text, right? Showing him how it looks like to work with me based on what you told me through my actions, right? Calling, I send the email, whatever it is. That's how we operate, in real estate. Usually a lot of emails back and forth. Then I text to confirm, hey, sent you the email. Can you please let me know that when you receive it? If not, I'll send it again, right? Text message is always helpful. Just because you send the email doesn't mean they're going to get it. I know I've sent emails to people I have been emailing, and it'll go to their spam. And that happens, but I wouldn't have known unless I got the text. I could, you can miss out on deals that way. Because if you just go MIA for a couple of days, things move fast in this industry. Yep. There's cash offers coming up left and right, last minute, and a cash offer can come up and steal the rug right underneath your client. You think you have a deal, you're about to open up escrow, boom, rug gets pulled out from underneath you. It's happened to me before because I haven't done those things, and I was doing a disservice to my client. So. That's one of the great things. Again, being an adult, using your phone, taking things seriously, prioritizing all that. But
what the basis of this is you sold your client and yourself to the agent, because if you were average Joe Schmo agent,
he probably wanted the cash offer.
Boom, there you go. That's my point.
Because who wouldn't? Because we have an FHA 90-day rule. So they went through. They're a little bit over 40 days. So our technical escrow length, it was exactly 54 days because he rehabbed the home, they opened up escrow, whatever. So technically our escrow is 54 days. What seller, I know we may be 10, 15 grand above, but I don't know about you, but waiting an extra 54 days to have your money in limbo like that is not good for a seller, right? Unless you have a boatload of cash on hand. But if you're flipping properties, you want that money to go start your next project. So giving the seller their confidence, the agent / seller, same person, right? Giving him confidence that, hey, we will close this deal. I'm not going to screw around with your money, or your client if it's not the owner seller, and doing it with outstanding communication and again soft skills. There's another level to that, right? Learning how to pitch with your tone of voice. Mirroring, finding out what the seller actually wants, all that stuff. That's another level, but first comes first is you got to have that base level of communication standard to have when you're dealing with these the most important transaction people are going to have in their life. So if you're not having good communication, find another business because you're not taking your client's money seriously, because this is hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? Potentially millions.
Right, and that's it. I'll get offers sometimes from agents. They don't text me.
Never hear from them. They just send you an offer.
I let my client know that. And I'll be honest with you, I'm the gatekeeper to the offers in the sense of it's usually my decision on 95% of all deals on what direction we go with. I want someone that sends an offer, calls me before they send it, hey, I'm gonna send you an offer, follows up, did you receive the offer? Hey, just want to talk to you about my client, da 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 da, boom. Do I really listen to what they're saying? Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But the bottom line is they're on top of their business, and that's what I want to see. So you've seen this firsthand. We were at an open house in, what was that?
Tahunga, yeah.
Doing an open house. Hot property, agents coming in left and right, buyers, you know.
Oh, what's her name?
Forgot her name. Teresa,
No?
Teresa, I don't even know. Doesn't know. She was there with her buyer. You saw it firsthand. That was a great experience, by the way. She came up to me and be like, Mark, Mike, very nice to meet you. My client wants the property. We will close this, da 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 da. And guess what? She made the offer. I pushed her offer. Her offer was $30,000 less than the next one. She closed it early, no issues.
But the agent of the $30,000 offer was also there.
Was also there too.
Yep.
But she did not. I think she was a she.
She didn't leave you alone. She
She didn't sell herself. This person, and whatever happens, my experience, I share that with my client. He chose it. I go, this one's going to close it. I put my name on it. She'll close it 120%. This one, I don't put my name on it. It's $3,000 more. And now you saw it firsthand. You saw the difference. Did you feel like, well, that girl will close?
Yeah, she came in.
Boom.
Energy was high. Compared to the other agent that was there, she was standing there waiting. There's probably like 20 people.
Waiting.
And 20 people in the house.
Right. There's 20 people. It was
20 people.
madness. But the thing is, did you see the way she spoke? Direct.
Yep, direct. Stern.
Everyone heard the conversation. And then the other one was like talking soft. That doesn't give me confidence. That was awesome. You saw that.
Yeah.
That just started. After she was done with that, I said, dude, that's the way you want to get your offer accepted. That's the way you have to be. And it went smooth. So that was a great one.
Yeah.
So, real quick.
I didn't meet the one I'm in escrow with right now at the open house. My client went without me. I was doing another open house, right? So they went without me. But doing it on the phone is the next best thing. So if you can't show up in an open house,
I understand.
Do it with the phone, and then consistency with that thing. If they don't pick up your call in the morning, call them freaking later in the day, right? Or hey, Mark, I know I gave you a call, I left you a message, but just wanted to see you got my message. Can I give you a call later today, right? And I know you're probably not going to respond right away. You
probably won't.
Yeah, but it gives you confidence.
Doesn't matter.
That they're serious about
You're
their
serious.
business.
Another thing, real quick, on this transaction, real quick. So, it was the day before the buyer was supposed to remove all contingencies. Okay, and then I text her this. I said, you know what I want. I got it the next day. She knew. I said, you know what?
Did you get nudes?
You know the date. What's that?
Did you get some nudes, Big Mark?
No. You know, she said, no, check this out. She goes, no. I go, you know what the date is? You know what I want. That's me. That's my true personality. If I can be myself, that's me. I'm very one sentence direct.
Not with your clients, though.
Not with
You're
my
with
clients.
that with agents.
Agents.
And
yes.
not even at the beginning necessarily of the transaction, because I'm around you all the time. You are, when an agent first calls you, hey, what's up? Yeah, not a problem, da-da-da. But when things start, you have a way of knowing the audience, knowing the room, right? Knowing when you should start pushing hard, when you should lay back. But with your clients, you would not like that at all. No. You're very, you're usually soft-spoken, because you being a taller 6'4", 200 pounds, when we go on a listing appointment, you have to lower your voice because you don't want to go in too demanding. Right, I've noticed that, especially with older ladies we've been in. You're like, yes, well, that's not a problem. Da, 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 da.
Yeah, of course.
And those are those soft skills again.
Soft skills,
right?
Knowing your audience, man.
Right, you can't talk to some 5'1" older lady and be demanding like that. You're not gonna, you're not gonna get her business.
But see, I knew my audience, I knew the agent. I can just say, you know the date, you know what I want. I know I can do that, because I know the audience and just understanding your audience. Changing the pace here. Let's go with this. It's Christmas time, right? Yeah. What's the date right now?
The 5th.
5th.
Yeah. Hey, 5th. You know I love Christmas music, right?
Wham.
Oof. I haven't played that so far this year.
No, you haven't.
Okay. What's your favorite Christmas song?
I gotta go with Mariah Carey.
No, that's overplayed.
Dude, Mariah Carey, bro.
She lives off of Christmas.
Dude. But for
lives off
real,
of it.
I found out how she is as a person, and every time I hear her sing, it makes me want to throw up in my mouth. I swear to God.
My sister's named after Mariah Carey.
Not until I see her prime pictures of her like back in the day when Eminem was I'm like, nah, it doesn't make me want to throw up in my mouth.
No, it makes me, she as a person, from what I take, makes me want to throw up in my mouth and swallow it. But
Yeah.
Any Mariah Carey?
Yeah.
Wow. Gabe?
Mine's probably like Frank Sinatra.
Frank Sinatra?
Frank
Yeah,
Sinatra on
okay.
Christmas time is you can't beat that ambiance.
Okay.
Like by the fireplace, the
Okay.
cool weather,
Or some
the
Elvis.
lights. Yeah, Elvis.
Elvis,
Yeah,
yeah.
Elvis
That's
as
what
well.
I was going to get to. I have 1 and 2. Number 2 is Elvis Blue Christmas. I love that song.
Yeah, it's a classic.
Love that song. Number 1, hands down, the best Christmas song ever created. Wham.
They just He has a couple other good songs too.
That is the
Beautiful
most
voice.
Last
Great voice.
Lucky, is that a great song? Yes or no? Last Christmas.
What?
Wham.
He doesn't know.
What?
I'll only know if I know the lyrics. I don't know the name.
Last Christmas, you stole my heart.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's Wham.
No, last
great-
Christmas I gave you
Oh,
my
gave you my
heart.
heart. The very next day, you gave it away.
This year.
That is great. I haven't
What?
even played it all this year. Actually, after
What?
we're done with this, I'm going to go play it. I'm going to play it loud.
Oh, gifts. Great. Okay, great thing for a buyer. You don't have the down payment. You have the income. You have the fund. You have the income. You have great FICO scores, ready to purchase the property, but you don't have the funds as far as a down payment to go. You can get gift funds. You get gift funds from a family member. You could even get it from a coworker or a boss.
Gift is that just FHA or is that conventional too?
You do both.
No, both. Okay.
Get gift funds, right? That's an easy way, to not easy, right? I don't know a lot of people that have like 50,000, 60,000.
But that's a great Christmas gift.
Yeah, right. And then you can just say, hey, you know what? I'll pay you back. I'll give you a little bit of interest because you're not going to beat the family interest if they charge you 1% and 2%, right? The bank's going to get you,
Yeah.
right? So that's a great way to get you into the property with sooner right now than waiting until interest rates drop. Because like I said, it's going to cost you a lot more out of pocket when interest rates drop and you have to go 50, 60, 70 above appraised value because you have to compete with multiple buyers. That's going to happen by the end of 2024. Absolutely. It might even happen in summer. That's what Sergio was saying. He was thinking that summertime is probably going to be like super hot by the way that interest rates are already dropping. I don't see it being that early, but it's election year, so who knows?
Yeah. No, most definitely. Most definitely. I'm kind of going the Christmas thing. So what are you doing for Christmas? Because this podcast, we're only having one podcast. And
This is our Christmas podcast.
This is going to be a Christmas. Merry Christmas, by the way.
Merry Christmas.
Merry
Lucky.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Go ahead. What are you doing for Christmas?
Probably just go to my grandma's house, my dad's mom. Hopefully eat some tamales, unwrap some gifts.
Best Christmas memory.
Best Christmas memory? That's a good one. One year, my little brother, he was, I want to say like 8 years old. We got back 5 a.m. He had those Elf on the Shelves.
Mm-hmm.
And we got home, but my parents didn't put the gifts. They're supposed to put the gifts out. They didn't put the gifts out. They didn't put the gifts out. The elves hadn't been moved. So my dad and my mom went into the house. We kept my brother outside, and my dad made it seem like the elves were trying to fight him. So we hear like a bunch of banging all over. My little brother's standing there like, what's going on inside? He has like no clue what's going on. Still believes in Santa. Santa's real. Santa is real.
Facts.
Believes in
Facts.
Santa still, because Santa's real. Yeah, it was just hilarious. We sprinkled cinnamon on the elves to bring them back to life, and then he up and left.
Was that last year?
No, it was like 5 years ago.
5 years ago.
That's awesome.
Gabe, what are you doing for Christmas?
Going up north again. So I was up north,
Your mom's
side of the family. Yeah,
Okay.
for Thanksgiving, going up north again. My favorite Christmas memory, I don't know when it happened because it happened multiple times, but my little cousin Dylan. So me and my cousin Quinn, my auntie's oldest son, he's a year younger than me, so we grew up with each other. We're basically brothers. The closest thing I have to a brother. Love you, Quinny. So he has a little brother, Dylan, who was, a few years younger than us. So we're teenagers, and he's like, I don't know, 8, right? So we were, he's bigger than us now, big kid now. But we used to hang him, I would sit on his legs or sit on his arms above his head, right? Or we would flip-flop. and we would like practice. You know, we would compete on how long we could drop loogies above his face without hitting. We would get like this far and like this close to his face and suck him back up. But then every once in a while, you know, it just drops.
So you're just bullying the kid.
Yeah, right.
Oh, that sucks.
Okay. All right, so this is how bad it was, right? So one time that happened.
By the way, this is his best Christmas moment, but go ahead.
Right. Well, look, it gets funnier. So we're there sitting at Christmas, and then my cousin Quinn is sitting by the the pellet fireplace, right? Because my grandpa got a pellet burner. So he's sitting there on his phone, right? Laying down. Not sitting down, he's laying down, right? And his little brother, Dylan, walks up with the freaking 2x4. It goes from 12 to 6 on his freaking head. Oh my gosh. And it was so funny because it was a delayed reaction. My cousin Quinn was just like, ow. And then like 30 seconds later, he starts crying. I'm like, dude, you were supposed to cry 30 seconds ago.
Is that a Christmas memory? This is like Die Hard, dude. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? Is that even
hilarious.
a Christmas memory?
No one got hurt. It was just hilarious. It was hilarious. It was one of the best things I remember that Christmas. Or every Christmas ever.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
A 2x4?
Yeah, 2 hours. Just straight 12 to 6 on his forehead.
He must have been pissed.
Oh, yeah. It didn't break any skin, surprisingly, but we were all like...
Was he red?
He probably had a
little
welt
bit.
on his head.
Yeah. We're all like, oh, wow, that hurt so bad.
Ouch. Wow.
Yeah, those are my favorite memories with my,
All right.
my little
What about you,
cousins.
Big Mark?
Well, where I'm doing Christmas, I'm going to go see my son. He's in Kansas. So I'm going to shoot out the 20th, stay there till the day after Thanksgiving, the 26th. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm not looking forward to the cold. It's in Kansas. First thing out of his mouth was, "Hey, Dad, dress warm. Bring a lot of warm. Oh no, bring a lot of warm clothes." Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. Spending time with him. It's been a few months since I've seen him, so I'm excited. Best Christmas moment. I was at my mom's house. The whole family. Marky, my son, was there. We're all doing, and then I leave, and then Mark's like, "Hey, where's my dad? Where'd he go?" He was probably about 6, 5 maybe. And then I go outside, I change into Santa. I pound on the door, they open it, and I'm just standing there, not talking. I'm like I'm standing. I'm just not talking because you'll know it's me. I'm just standing there. And then he's like looking like this, like, "Is that my dad?" I'm not talking. I'm just standing there in the threshold of the door. I'm not talking. I swear to God, it was the freaking funniest thing. He was like, "Is that my dad?" But I'm just like standing there, not moving. Just standing there. Then I shut the door and leave.
You know what would be the greatest Christmas?
That was the greatest moment ever. My mom still talks about it.
The greatest Christmas memories ever is, I know you've seen them because they always come around during this time, is when there's a family and like someone dresses up as the Grinch.
Dude, I just
and like the
watched those
Santa
videos.
Claus is there and the Grinch just like runs in and takes the presents or Christmas tree.
Yeah.
You see the kids
Oh, yeah,
running
yeah.
after it. And then you
True.
see someone try to tackle the Grinch and they're like play fighting. That would be great if you did that for your kids. When I have
Yeah.
kids, I want to do something like that.
I watched
That is hilarious.
I watched the video, I think it was yesterday or Sunday. The Grinch runs into the house, grabs the presents, but he can't like grab anything. He's trying too hard to grab it. So the kid jumps on his back. Puts
Yeah,
him
I
in a
see
rear
that.
naked
That
chokehold.
killed my feet.
He puts him in a rear naked chokehold, and the
Yeah.
Grinch can't move.
That's funny. That's
awesome.
I think I cried watching that. That was hilarious.
That's a boss kid. You know it would suck if the kids started butt scooting to the Grinch. That's an inside jiu-jitsu joke. It's an inside jiu-jitsu joke. If you start butt scooting to an intruder, you're going to get curb stomped. Do not do it. Ever. That is the dumbest thing. Butt scooting.
Butt scooting.
Yeah. You look
I'm
like
assuming.
a dog trying to wipe off your butt.
Yeah.
The shit on your ass.
Right.
But those tend to be like the craziest kids in jiu-jitsu too. You see like little kids like butt scooting, like, oh man, this kid's gonna screw my knees up. And yeah, 10 seconds later he has you like in a foot lock, or you're like, screw this, man, this sucks.
Yeah. No, that's funny.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy New Year. Hope you guys are able to spend some time with your family. It's always that special time of the year. My favorite holiday is Thanksgiving, but I understand that people's favorite holiday is Christmas. If you want to know what I want for Christmas, I would love, if you got me a Porsche 911 GTR 3S. So I'll be expecting that underneath my Christmas tree.
I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, and hopefully everyone has the opportunity to spend with their family, and be safe. I'm doing in Christmas the thing I really want to do, that's spend time with my son. So boom, go.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Happy New Year. spend time with your family. And if I did want a gift for Christmas, I would ask you to help somebody less fortunate or somebody that may not have their family through the holidays. So thank you guys for tuning in.